What's up? How's it going? So, yesterday we were talking about meal prepping for the week. It's one of the biggest things I think athletes need to do to get gains, so we can control what's going into our body as much as we can to get the most out of it, right? Now we're going to talk about the other side of sport performance, right? Nutrition, sleep, hydration, that's all, that's a big pillar of sport performance. We also need to talk about the training side. So, something in here, I don't use agility ladders. I don't believe in them, right? I think there is good groups to use them with, middle school especially. We can talk about the science behind that later. I also think it's good for pattern and pattern recognition. But for the most part, agility ladders are useless. They're good cardio equipment if you're using it for cardio, but in the sport performance realm, they don't work. They do not make you more agile. They will if we're bringing you up from shit to suck, but not from suck to good. So what we need to look at instead, here's the 3 things I do instead. Or first, why I use them with a middle school. Going back to some hard science. Athletes, especially kids aged 11 to 13, have the most moldable central nervous systems. They're most receptive to changes in their foot speed striking. So if I'm working with a middle school athlete, I'm going to tell them to move their feet as fast as they can inside the agility ladder. That's awesome. Right now we look at our high school, college, and pro athletes, and we tell them to move their feet fast in agility ladder, but they're going nowhere really quickly. They're going so quick with building up a hurricane behind them, but they're not able to go anywhere, right? So here's what I do with my athletes instead. 3 portions. First one, plyometrics, especially continuous plyometrics, right? So lots of hops and bounds, right? Single foot, I can show you a couple right here. Just a single foot drop, drilling out, landing, change of direction with that, a bound to a 2 foot, but lots of plyometrics, lots of explosive work, driving through those hips. Second portion that we do in the gym here. So we do a lot of change of direction drills, right? So change of direction, being able to get low, figure out our position, and move the other way. It's what the agility ladder tries to teach, right? But we think of the agility ladder as an agility drill, but what agility really is change of direction plus perception, right? Being able to read the room. So I think about it like this. I think a middle linebacker, right? They're in their position. Once the play goes, they have 4 things that they need to see what's most important. They have to figure out which gap they are trying to hit, right? And that's the real agility, is being able to see the person move from gap A to gap B and make the move. Hey Heather, how's it going? So, right, so agility ladder is not going to teach you. It's going to teach you the footwork involved, the change of direction. So I love change of direction work. But what I don't love is when we call change of direction work agility work, because it includes no perception of what's going on, right? That's the third thing we work on. The third thing we work on in here is a lot of reactive work, right? So it's lots of cat and mouse games, lots of mirror games, games where athlete A has to respond to athlete B. Athlete A has to respond to athlete B, C, D, and E, right? That's more like a sporting event than putting a kid on a ladder, chopping their feet up each and every way. There are good times to use it. Like we said, with middle school athletes, they are most receptive to hard changes in their central nervous system, to foot speed especially. Another rehab. I love using the agility ladder for rehab. Again, I don't call it an agility ladder though. What we call it there is just the footwork ladder, right? We can also use it to learn how to control and brace, but moral of the story is the agility ladder does not make you more agile. Chopping your feet in the same spot without responding to an external stimuli does not help you become an agile athlete. What it helps you do is get really good at the skill of the agility ladder, right? Whew. So lots going on. So the 3 things we need to do to work on, instead of spending so much time wasting time on our agility ladder, is we need to work on our plyometrics, explosive plyometrics, and continuous plyometrics, right? Bounds, over and over, single leg, 2-leg bounds. We're going to do a lot of change of direction work, right? So it's whether that's an 5-10-5 test, an eye test, whether it's 5 yards back, 10 yards back, We did these crazy things called 21s in college, where it's 10 yards, you go back and forth 21 times as fast as you can. And my record was under a minute 20, right? So different ways you can work on these tests. The third one for the change of direction, the third one we need to work on is our reactiveness. We need athletes to respond to other stimuli. That is what happens on the sport field, that also happens on the soccer field, baseball field, all that. So why not do it as we train as well? We need to stop wasting our time with agility ladders unless you're using them properly. But you're not using them properly if you're using them for agility. It's more for the footwork, for the coordination, right? The skill of chopping your feet back and forth is awesome coordination, right? But once we get further and further along in that spectrum of agility ladders, it becomes a skill in itself, and that's worthless, right? I don't want my athletes to go nowhere fast. I want them to take a step and go somewhere, right? That's why we do our plyos, that's why we do everything we do in here. So if you're looking for a coach that understands this, if you want to get faster, get more agile, dominate the competition, increase your confidence, send me a message, right? This is what we do here at Decatur. We take people to the next level, whether they're going from starting out to that first level, or if they're going from that second level to trying to make it to that, make a team, make it to college, make it to the pros. We've worked with all of them. So send me a direct message. Love to get you started. Have a great day. Stop using the agility ladder. Let's find other ways to do that. Laid it out there. Peace.